It's Emily Kutchins Adler, the Buttery Babe, and today we're making my favorite, potato latkes. This is our family recipe, and it is amazing. It starts out very easy. We've got 2 potatoes to 1 onion, a 1/4 cup of matzo meal, 1 egg, a teaspoon of baking powder, and 2 teaspoons of kosher salt. This is the smallest I know how to make it. We usually go much bigger. So it's about 1.5 pounds of potatoes to 1/2 pound of onions. You just want to peel the potatoes with your handy dandy peeler, and then when I was a kid, we always had to use the box grater. You had to work for those latkes. But nowadays, I just use my Cuisinart on the shredding disc, and I can put this guy in the drawer. The main important step, besides frying them to delicious golden brown, is to get all the liquid out. So I already grated up my 2 potatoes and my onion, and I put them in a tea towel. You can use any type of kitchen towel or even paper towels. And you want to squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. You see how much liquid is coming out? It's kind of insane. So you want to get all of that out. All of it out. Okay. And you'll see, that's a lot of liquid. The more dry the potatoes are, the better your latkes will be. So in our bowl, now before we start that, we're actually going to turn on our skillet. Today I'm using my cast iron skillet because that's my only skillet that is flat. So that's heating up over medium. So we're going to crack the egg and mix in the 1/4 cup of matzo meal, and that's 1 teaspoon of baking powder and 2 teaspoons of kosher salt, and of course a generous crack of black pepper. We're also going to salt the latkes as soon as they come out of the oil, just like you would with French fries. I'm going to mix that up real quick, just so it's equally distributed. And then in goes the potato and the onion. Want to get yourself all ready. See, there's a bigger chunk, no problem. Break that up. And you want to just go through, because we did do this on the machine instead of by hand, so there might be a few little chunks that are too big to cook through in the pancake. Like that would be a very oniony bite. So we'll just pull that out, no problem. And then toss everything together. Even though we wring it through really, really well, more water is still going to come out as it's sitting. So don't be worried, just mix it all up. Don't be afraid to get your hands in there, like this. And make sure everything is mixed together nicely. Today we're going to be frying in a delicious olive oil, but you can use Crisco, you can use vegetable oil, you can go very old school and use some rendered chicken fat or some beef fat. I like olive oil, so that's what we're going to do. So I'm just going to give my hands a quick rinse, and then we're going to make our latkes. So, if my camera girl would like to come on over by the griddle. It's always important to have your stuff together. So we have our frying pan heating up. I'm going to put in some olive oil, a nice coating. And then you want to have your mise en place, so everything in its place. So I have a cookie pan that I've lined with a paper towel. I'm going to come right over here. I have flippers to flip those potato pancakes, and I have extra salt because we're going to season them as soon as they come out of the oil. And of course, the oil. So I've got my spoon. My oil's nice and hot. You can see it's just starting to shimmer. And we're going to take some potato mix and pat it down nicely. I like little latkes because we serve them as a side dish with our brisket or our roast chicken. So good. And I'll be quiet for a second so you can hear that oil shimmering. That's a beautiful thing. So go ahead. We like ours nice and flat so they get crispy all the way through. And I'm only going to put about 4 of them in at a time so that they're not crowded. Just a touch more oil. So those are going to cook until they're golden brown on that side. It should be about 2 minutes, and then we're going to flip them over. Okay, it's been about 2 minutes. Let's check on our Latkes and see how they're doing. They should be nice and golden brown on the first side, and then we're going to flip them over so they can continue cooking. Look at that loveliness. Just pat them down gently. Okay, see how beautiful they are? We like ours extra golden, so I always make sure that I'm giving them a nice little push so that they stay in contact with the oil and they get golden brown. And that way it'll also make them cook through. As I said, we like them small because they're a side dish. If you wanted to eat them for an entree or even for breakfast with a fried egg on top, that would be great. Or if you want, you could just make them a little bit bigger. You could also make them even smaller, make them bite-sized, and then you could put just a little dollop of sour cream and some chives on top and have a great little appetizer to pass before your parties or while you're spinning that dreidel. These are going to cook about 2 minutes on the flip side, which is how they're going now, and then we'll drain them on our paper bag. And that's just from our local grocery store. We always keep a bunch of them available so that we can make Latkes or fried chicken. Alright, it's been 2 minutes on the flip side. Our Latkes are ready to rumble. So we're going to pull them out of the oil and put them on the paper bag. That little taster one's for me. And then right away, you see how they're nice and sizzly? You want to lightly salt them again. The extra oil in there is going to make the salt stick. And then you can go ahead and make more, but we are going to take these and plate them up with some delicious sour cream. And we'll complement sour cream, applesauce, and then you've just got your beautiful little Latkes ready to go. And I'm going to eat the baby one with sour cream. Yum. I'm Kutchins, Adler, the Buttery Babe, making potato pancakes. Thanks for visiting.